You thinking about moving to Peachtree Corners? Maybe live here already? Want to see what it has to offer? Today, we're exploring the parks in and around Peachtree Corners. Let's do it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jonathan McCoy, Atlanta's real McCoy, and I'm a realtor here in Peachtree Corners and the surrounding Metro Atlanta area. And today, I'm out and about exploring the parks in and around Peachtree Corners. And if you're exploring the parks in Peachtree Corners, you have to start with the one that's at the heart of Peachtree Corners, and that's Jones Bridge Park. Now, Jones Bridge Park is super popular here in Peachtree Corners, and there's kind of two big features at Jones Bridge Park. The first feature is the Chattahoochee River. You have access at many points here at Jones Bridge Park to the Chattahoochee River, whether you're looking just to walk in it to cool off from the heat of the day, whether you're looking to do some fishing, or just sit by it and enjoy the water. It's a great, peaceful place to enjoy the outdoors and the Chattahoochee. Now, give fair warning, if you've never been in the Chattahoochee River is super cold, okay? It comes from the bottom of Lake Lanier, which causes the water to be pretty chilly at times. So if you are taking that step into the water here at the Chattahoochee River, you've been warned. Now, I would say the second most attractive feature here at Jones Bridge Park is the large playground area here. It's oftentimes filled with kids having fun, doing their thing on the swings and the slides and all the things that the playground has to offer. In addition, as you walk here, you'll see a big meadowy area, great for kicking a ball around, just running around, kids being kids, having fun, lots of picnic tables. You got a pavilion here. Now, there is a sand volleyball court here. It's not the best in the world, it's okay. The good thing is it's in the shade, it's covered, but the bad thing about sand volleyball when you have shade here, especially here in Georgia, is it's covered by pine trees. So you have pine cones and sticks that fall into the courts. So if you're trying to play barefoot, it's not really conducive to that, but there is a sand volleyball court here. In addition to that, Jones Bridge Park also has 3 soccer fields. From where I'm at, it's up on the hill over there. Just a great place to really enjoy the day. Now, as you walk around and explore Jones Bridge Park, you're gonna notice a ton of areas for walking down to the river and benches along the way. So if you're into just being outside and enjoying the weather, sitting and reading a book, heck, even just sitting and looking at the water and thinking about life, this really is a great place to do it, especially on mornings when maybe school's in, like this morning, because I've passed no one this morning as I've walked around for about 20-25 minutes. So super peaceful. The only thing that might bother you are the ducks and geese that think you could be feed them. So if you do go down the water, you might have some that come near you, but once they figure out you're not gonna feed them, they go away. Since I love to fish, I have to mention a park near here, and that's Medlock Bridge, Chattahoochee National Recreation Area. Now, it's a mouthful. This park is run by the National Park Services, and so it does cost to park here. But why I mention this park is a great place to put in. You got a boat ramp here. You can put in a kayak or canoe or a tube. And if you put it in there, you can actually float down here to Jones Bridge. If you're just floating and not really paddling, that float, depending on the speed of the river, will take about hour and a half, maybe 2 if you're going really slow. If you're paddling, you can get it done in 30 minutes or less. And as I mentioned, as a fisherman, it's actually a pretty good fishing spot for trout fishing. So if you're putting in at Medlock Bridge and you're floating down here to Jones Bridge, you can have some pretty good trout fishing. I know that they stock that area. They're not huge trouts, but they are there. You should catch a few pretty much every time you go there. In addition, at Medlock Bridge, you'll also find some walking trails there. I think they have about 1.5 miles of walking trails through the woods. So it's a nice place to walk. But again, you do have to pay. I think it's $5 per visit. Or you can actually buy a pass for, I think it's $40 for the year. So there is an option for you. Now that we've explored and discussed Jones Bridge and Medlock Bridge, we're now gonna jump over to Simpsonwood. We are now here at beautiful Simpsonwood Park. Simpsonwood really is set up for one thing, and that's walking, jogging, or hiking in a beautiful wooded setting. They have over 3 miles of wooded, non-paved trails here with a lot of wildlife available. I mean, right now I just saw a big old red-headed woodpecker fly away from me. As you walk here, it's not unusual to come across Hold on. See, it's so beautiful here that I got distracted by a red-headed woodpecker that I had to stop filming for and kept filming. So the biggest thing here to do at Simpsonwood is to walk, jog, or hike. You got lots of people that come out here to walk their dogs. There's over 3 miles of paths that are not paved, so it's fantastic. There is a pavilion here in a big meadow, and technically it does have a sand volleyball court, but it's really not a good court. If you just got some kids that want to hit a ball at volleyball, it's perfectly fine, but if you really like playing sand volleyball, there's a better one that I'll show in a few minutes. Now, not only do you have the beautiful woods to explore here at Simpsonwood, but you do have some parts of the paths that go right along the Chattahoochee River. Now, they're pretty high banks along the Simpsonwood area, so there's not really access to the Chattahoochee River, but you can walk along it, hike along it, jog along it, whatever you want to do, and see it. There is group camping here as well at Simpsonwood. I've never really looked into it, but if you want to do some group camping, sure, why not? The best thing I think about Simpsonwood is that you can be here right here in Peachtree Corners in Metro Atlanta, but feel like you're just in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere. So you really do get that away from everything feel as you're taking a walk around here. Now, close by Simpsonwood is a park we'll talk about briefly, and that's Holcomb Bridge Park. Now, the reason why we're talking about briefly is the park does offer a playground and a pavilion, but that's about it. It does say that it has a walking trail that's 1/4 mile, which is true. And if you go to the Gwinnett County website, you'll actually see a picture of an overlook of the Chattahoochee River. Well, let me let you know, that's not there anymore. And there's really, even though it's right along the Chattahoochee River, if you're going there in the spring, summer, or fall time, you really can't see the river that much. There's too much trees, the bank's high. So if you're gonna go over to the Holcomb Bridge Park, really it's a park for a playground, and that's about it. Now, the playground's not super crowded usually, so if you're looking for a smaller playground that's not super crowded for your kids, it's a great place. Other than that, Holcomb Bridge Park doesn't really have a ton to offer, but I wanted to let you know it's there. Now we're gonna jump over to the park that probably has the most in terms of variety, and that's Pinckneyville Park. We are now over here at Pinckneyville Park, and right now I'm walking through the baseball and softball field areas. Now, of all the parks we talk about today, Pinckneyville probably has the most to offer in terms of variety. When you come over here to Pinckneyville Park, you'll notice that it's split up into 2 sides. So on one side you have the baseball complex. It has 7 baseball fields and softball fields over here. Lots of walking trails that go throughout the baseball fields, into the woods, out of the woods. It's a really nice place. One of the cool things is there's a ton of playground areas here. A lot of playground areas. And why that's so cool is around the baseball field you have a number of the playgrounds. So if you have more than one kid and one's maybe playing baseball or softball, then the others can entertain themselves on the playgrounds that are around the area. So for those out there that have kids, you know, sometimes when one's playing, the other one can be, or more than one, maybe a handful to deal with. So having playgrounds around the baseball and softball fields is a big plus. All right, over here on the baseball side of Pinckneyville, you're gonna find a skateboard park, I guess is what you call it. I'm not big into skateboards, so I don't know. It's got like a bowl and little rails that you jump on, you know, those places where if it was me, I would break just about every bone in my body. You also have right next to that a roller hockey rink area. Which is pretty cool. I actually don't know any other place around here that has it. It's a covered area. There's actually a Duluth roller hockey team, I believe, that practices over here. But one of the benefits of being over here in Peachtree Corners is you can actually go to the roller hockey rink, and as long as it's not reserved, you can go skate on it yourself, inline skate, practice your roller hockey, whatever you want to do. So it's accessible to everyone as long as the park's open. Okay, another thing you have is for your 4-legged friends, there are dog parks over here. I think there's a small and a large dog park. Let your dog loose, let them run, get all that energy. So it's pretty fun. There's dog parks over here. Another thing to add on this side of the park are there are multiple pavilions over here. These can be rented out for picnics, for parties. There's a huge pavilion down there. It's like 5,000 square feet, has a catering kitchen. So that's available if you're throwing a big party for maybe work or your church or some kind of organization you have. And right next to that is a sand volleyball court. And it's actually the best sand volleyball court in the area. It's got a good net, it's got good sand. So if you're into playing some volleyball, it's actually a great place to come and hit the volleyball. Okay, so across the street from this area here is the soccer complex for Pinckneyville Park. It has multiple soccer fields, and again, more trails over there that go around the soccer fields. There's another playground area over there. And one more thing to add on the other side, which is actually accessible from Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, and that's the Pinckneyville Community Center. At this community center, there's some meeting rooms. There's apparently a pottery studio and a dance studio. Now, those aren't my things, but if it's yours, what great opportunities you have to enjoy pottery and dance. Okay, now close by to this park is West Gwinnett Park and Aquatic Center. Super unique for Gwinnett County, as this has a huge indoor facility for swimming. They have competitions there. I know some of the county competitions for high schools are held there when it comes to swimming. So there's large pools there, a place for people to watch the competitions. There's also lap pools for people that just want exercise or want to practice or just want to swim. Swim lessons are available there. So it's indoor, open all year long, so great opportunity there. And a cool thing on the back side of the Aquatic Center, they actually have a water park. It has 2 large slides, a lazy river, a zero entry pool area, and a bunch of water features. I don't really know what you call it, with like buckets that pour on you and things that spray. Kids have a great time, adults have a great time. I'm gonna put a link below to that because it all does cost money and there's passes you can buy, and I'll put those numbers on the screen right now. So when it comes to living in Peachtree Corners, whether you're moving here or already live here or just visiting, Peachtree Corners has a ton to offer when it comes to outdoor activities and its parks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I post videos just like this one about living, working, and playing and breathing all things Atlanta and the metro Atlanta area and all things real estate. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.